Hello, I'm Jonasz Lewiński and this is Break the Fake. They make them, we break them and tell you everything you need to know. And we begin in Belarus. The land where elections are a distinctly unfunny joke, espionage is a national pastime, and hijacking planes is just another day at the office. Minsk-affiliated state media are now proudly boasting that the regime's elite spies have identified Belarusians protesting in Warsaw and across Europe. What an achievement! Surely the KGB's time is well spent stalking the opposition in exile instead of, fixing their collapsing economy? Or maybe explaining why Lukashenko wins elections with North Korean-level margins.
А я, обсуждая этот вопрос, своим разведчикам говорю: ребята, не надо воевать, сфотографируйте все. И заявите, что мы их установим. И вот они от страха там будут митинговать против своей страны, а у нас полностью их досье. Их все фотографии. Вот вам искусственный интеллект.
Слова Александра Лукашенко про искусственный интеллект оставлю без комментариев. Пусть беглые, избегающие идентификации, подумают сами, а обдумать ой как нужно. А приказ президента выполнен. Все сфотографированы и практически все в течение 12 часов уже установлены. Меня зовут Игорь Тур, и я дополню тему.
Из общего количества участников, а это 581 человек, идентифицированы 365 персонажей. Их деятельность задокументирована. И принято решение о привлечении фигурантов к уголовной ответственности, в том числе в порядке специального производства. Проверяется наличие у них имущества и недвижимости на территории Беларуси, в том числе зарегистрированного на иных лиц. Следственным комитетом совместно с заинтересованными органами продолжается работа по идентификации всех остальных участников акций.
Вот у меня в руках эта самая стопка с таблицей участников всех вчерашних антибелорусских акций за рубежом. На сегодняшнее утро уже были установлены личности символично 365 человек. Можно было бы про каждого делать эфир каждый день целый год, но коротко пробегусь по участникам для пущего интереса. Варшава. Парень без флага, известный в очень узких кругах, экс-телеоператор госканала Филанович Антон Николаевич. Где-то рядом был Казимир Мечиславович Шарлан, в метрах 100 от него Жуковский Вячеслав Салаватович. Вот на одном фото Алена Климова, в розовой кепке Виолетта Вербицкая, мужчина перед ними Дмитрий Колесникович. Есть династии Пунько Анастасия Владимировна и Пунько Артур Дмитриевич. В Вильнюсе привет Козловой Юлии Владимировне и ее подружкам. В Нью-Йорке Макарчик Марине Валерьевне и ее соседям и так далее.
Meanwhile, two actual Belarusian operatives are now wanted by Interpol for their starring roles in the 2021 Ryanair hijacking. You remember the incident where the Belarusian regime scrambled a fighter jet to force a plane to land in Minsk. All this to kidnap journalist Roman Protasevich. It was a stunt so brazen, it made Soviet-era KGB operations look subtle by comparison. And now, thanks to Polish prosecutors, these two fine gentlemen, or perhaps we should call them comrades, are internationally recognized criminals. But don't you worry, Minsk will surely call this a Western provocation, because in Lukashenko's dystopia, orchestrating a skyjacking is just a misunderstanding. But holding a protest march is an act of treason. And let's not forget Putin's Western apologists, who will probably find a way to blame NATO, George Soros, or Ukrainian biolabs for the whole ordeal. Belarus seems to have adopted state terrorism as a diplomatic strategy. So, what's next? Declaring every Ryanair flight a national security threat? Oh wait, Ryanair doesn't fly over Belarus anymore. European carriers don't do that because the European Union told them not to. Guess why? If you fly over Belarus, you might get hijacked, so no thanks. Now, in Russia, intelligence agencies don't seem to be gathering intelligence as much as spend much of their time playing historian for hire. Enter Sergei Narishkin, head of the Foreign Intelligence Service, who has now decided that history books should determine modern borders. Because when your military campaigns fail miserably, why not try rewriting history instead? Narishkin suggests that the Russian Historical Society should debate Ukraine's territorial rights, and he graciously invited historians from Poland, Hungary and Slovakia to join the discussion. How generous. Perhaps he expects them to show up and say, you know what, Sergei, you're right, let's carve up Ukraine together. Spoiler alert, that is not going to happen. Of course, this is just another installment in Russia's long-running soap opera called Let's Pit Ukraine Against Its Allies. Naryshkin has already accused Poland of scheming to seize Lviv and hold fake referendums. Sounds familiar, right? Yeah, clearly, Russia believes that if they do illegal annexations, everyone should do that. Problem is, nobody wants to. They engage in projection, and this, in fact, is projection at its finest, but Mr. Naryshkin, nobody wants to do that. This is a Russian thing, annexing somebody else's land and holding fake referendums. We, European countries, are just not interested. Russia's strategy is simple enough. Create chaos, spread lies, and hope the West falls for it. The only problem is that nobody outside the Kremlin's propaganda bubble is buying all this nonsense. Maybe next time Naryshkin can host a debate on whether Alaska also historically belongs to Russia. After all, revisionism is way easier to do than winning actual wars. Slovakia's Prime Minister Robert Fico, Putin's most devoted European fanboy, is once again proving that his loyalty to the Kremlin knows no bounds. This time, he's demanding immediate access to Russia's miraculously cheap gas because nothing says energy security quite like begging for scraps from a war criminal's table. Fico, in his infinite wisdom, is now outraged that Ukraine dared to attack the Turk Stream pipeline's infrastructure, which, by the way, is located on Russian soil, and Russia is attacking Ukraine, so, makes sense. But he does not believe that. He says, how dare Kiev disrupt the smooth flow of blood-soaked hydrocarbons into Europe? Clearly, defending their sovereignty is far less important than ensuring cheap gas for Bratislava.
A prosím, myslím to smrteľne vážne, čo teraz poviem, mimoriadne negatívne prijali ukrajinský útok na infraštruktúru Turk Stream. Málo sa o tom v médiách hovorí, ale je fakt, že ukrajinská armáda zaútočila na území Ruskej federácie na infraštruktúru, ktorá tvorí začiatok Turk Streamu. My však máme zmluvu s Gazpromom, ktorý nám má doručiť nejaký objem plynu, no len ako ho má doručiť, keď tá kapacita toho Turk Streamu je obsadená, keď Ukrajina povedala, že žiadny plyn cez územie Ukrajiny nebude.
Meanwhile, Fico conveniently forgets that Ukraine has repeatedly warned it will cut off Russian gas transit. But instead of preparing Slovakia for the inevitable, he has been busy whining about who will keep the gas flowing, as if Putin personally owes him a favor, a discount for good behavior, in fact. So, here's the real question. Does Fico actually believe in Russian energy miracles, or is he just performing for the Kremlin's applause? Either way, his desperation is a masterclass in bootlicking diplomacy. Keep groveling, Robert. Maybe Gazprom will give you a loyalty card, if they have any left. There are rumors that they might have given them all away to members of the Alternative for Germany party after they said they want to revive the Nord Stream gas pipeline. So, Mr. Fico, well, you might actually have missed that opportunity by being too late to the party. And with this, we conclude this edition of Break the Fake. Please stay with us here on TVP World for more latest news and updates. I'm Jonasz Rewiński. Bye for now.